Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Derek is helping me do all of the. Say hi, Derek.
Hi.
Lean. No, you got to lean in.
Hi.
Can they see you?
Probably.
Hi, everybody. So glad you're here. I see that Ani is here. Hi, Ani. Hi, Annette. BJ and Sin, welcome. So glad you're here. And Debbie and Florence, welcome. I just had lunch with my cousin Florence today. And Genevieve, I don't know which one you are, but great to have you. Derek, if you lean in just a little bit, they can see how handsome you are. So glad that you're here. Let me see who else is here. Hi, Gloria. Great to see you here. Hi, Judy. And hey, Kat. Hey, Lisa Galper. So great to have you here. And Marja and Michelle. Hi. And I'm just going to say hi to everybody until he tells me it's ready to go. Hi, Patty. Hi, Rhonda. Great to have you here. So happy that everybody's showing up. And I see Scotty's. I wonder if I know who that is. Scotty's. Can I keep looking here?
Hold on.
No? Well, it's a beautiful day in Paris. It was supposed to be raining today. I'm on? Okay, yeah. Good. But I can still talk about the rain?
Yes.
Okay, can I change this so I can see this? Yes. Okay, great. Do I get to see any of them or no?
No.
Okay, I don't get to see you, but I can stare at myself the whole time. Hey, everybody, great to have you here. Let's see who else is here. And feel free to, okay, good, Genevieve. I'm not sure if you're French or not, but hey, everybody. So great to have you here. Welcome. Wonderful to be here with you. I am so happy that you came. I think you might have seen my note that I felt incredibly bad. I actually, so I ran I'm just going to talk for a minute or two before people jump in. Just so glad that you're here with me. I did a full day live event here in Paris with some of my European clients. And they said, how did the thing go yesterday? And I said, do you want level 1 or do you want level 3? And they said, of course we want level 3. And I just told them how I can't even believe that you can work on something for weeks. You can prepare, you can have a team of close to 30 people, like do everything possible to just to work on something. And then every single possible technology thing can go wrong. And it's exactly what happened to me. And they said, how did you do it? What did you do afterwards? And I said, I cried. I cried mostly because I felt just really guilty that because I saw all the notes that you guys posted, like, I can't get on. I tried 3 times, I'm bailing. And just thought I wasted your time and I didn't give you the 9 steps that I wanted to give you. So do what you love. And so I'm back to give you the 9 steps. I wrote them out myself. This is Fabienne Unplugged. I am here to just roll up my sleeves. I've already rolled them up. Roll up your sleeves, and I'm going to give you the 9 steps to the authentic close. So if you weren't on the call the other day, there are several reasons why you're not closing the sale. That is on the replay that you got. I believe yesterday they got the replay. You got the replay yesterday, I think. If not today, doesn't matter. You have the replay in your inbox. In that replay, I talked about all the reasons why you may not be closing the sale. But the thing I want to tell you, the thing that I've gotten the most notes about, like private messages from people who've known me for a long time, my team members included, is this message that I've been talking about more and more. I am here to champion, especially the ladies. I love the few good men that follow me. I love you guys. But the ladies, one of the things that I've realized is that it is imperative for us women to make our own money and to be self-reliant and to be to have our financial independence, because there are too many women, and I also know some men who, because they don't make enough of their own money, they stay stuck in situations, relationships, jobs, homes, cities, places they don't want to be because they're beholden to someone else or to something else because they don't make enough of their own money. Now, the beautiful thing about being self-employed is that you control. This is what I was saying yesterday in this marketing intensive that I was doing. You control the money that you make. You control how much money you make. And feel free, by the way, to just like, I can see the chat. So just feel free to put some notes. I just show me the love because I didn't get it the other day. You control how much money you make by two things. Okay. Number one, how much you market, right? Which is, I've been a marketing coach for close to 20 years. I've helped tens and tens of thousands of people market their businesses, because if you market with authenticity, integrity, and love, you control how much money you make. But the thing is, you don't actually control how much money you make by the marketing, because it's not the marketing that makes you the money. The marketing brings you the leads. The marketing brings you the lovely people who are supposed to be working with you. It's the closing of the sale that actually makes you money. This is the thing. And nobody talks about the closing of the sale because everybody wants to avoid and deny that this is a crazy important part of having a business, of making money. But it is so dirty. Like, people hate to talk about sales. Even I don't like the word sales. I like to call it, my team kept saying, like, let's talk about sales. I'm like, no, let's talk about the soft close or closing the sale. I don't know. I don't even like the word sales. How do you feel, right? Yeah, thank you for writing it down. How do you feel about the whole word sales? I would love to see that in the chat. Let's like engage here. Of course, pay attention to me because, you know, I'm a Leo and all I want is your attention. But it's you have to embrace sales. Like, there is no way around it. You have to embrace getting really, really, really good at making money, because then you are not beholden to anybody or anything. You don't have to stay in certain relationships, whether they're personal or professional. You don't have to stay in a corporate job or in a even a business that you don't like. You don't have to stay in a city or country you don't like if that's your situation, right? The key is that making your own money and the ability to close the sale again and again and again and again, even if everything is taken away from you. I had one of my team members who was a single mom, just became a single mom recently, and she said I'm brought to tears by the message that you shared the other day on the live stream, the webinar, because I have had to become self-reliant. I can't count on my former husband anymore. And this is massively important. So we business owners have the incredible opportunity, the incredible capability of making our own money, which is therefore making our own financial independence and making our own freedom. We can make our own choices. So yeah, Heidi, money in relationships is such a huge thing. It leads to resentment. You're absolutely right, right? Debbie, you said, I'm always on edge with a salesperson. I feel like they're all scammers. So here's the thing. I'm going to show you today, and I really do hope you will go back and watch. It's a 90-minute. I know 90 minutes is a long time, you guys, but it's really important that you go watch the entire replay from Thursday. I have to tell you, we spent weeks working on that presentation, and I spent like 5 days building that. And it is everything is in there for you to really shift your mindset around what it is to be in sales. But here's the thing. The flavor that I want you to get is that sales, when done right, it's always these three words for me. You will always hear these three words from me: authenticity, integrity, and love, right? And when you do sales and marketing, by the way, that's what I teach in all my other stuff, is doing marketing with authenticity, integrity, and love. You are not scammy. Sales as service, write that down, please. Sales as service. And the whole idea is that when you've got somebody in front of you who has a problem that you can solve, if you don't do all you can from your heart with your love to have them I don't know how to say it, but like to have them get the solution that they need, which you happen to have, you are doing them a disservice. You're actually being really greedy, or not greedy, but like you're holding on to your gifts and you're not sharing them. So sales is service. So how do you do the sales thing with authenticity, integrity, and love? Well, over the last 20 years, I've been coming up. It's not that I came up with it 20, like maybe 18 years ago. And then I just kept massaging it and kept making it bigger and better and better and more refined and more elegant and more subtle and more powerful. So these 9 steps is called I call it the authentic close process. And it is a process where you do not have to sell. So that seems crazy. The sales process in which you don't have to sell, how does that make any sense, Fabienne? Well, I'm going to take you through the 9 steps and it will make sense to you. So have a sip of water. I'm going to have a sip of water too. So step number 1, I'll write these down for you. Yeah, you would be being selfish with your gifts. I can't even type on this. Step number 1 is self-selection. Okay, so what does self-selection mean? So self-selection, I have always talked about self-selection and pre-qualification being one of the things that if you can do, you can have people close themselves into working with you without you ever having to sell. So the first step is self-selection, being that you want to get your marketing so clear and so good that when your ideal client lands on your website, hears you talk on stage, reads an article of yours, or sees you on a live stream, or networks with you, or sees you on a summit, or whatever, your ideal client reads your stuff or hears your stuff and says, oh my God, how do you know me so well? You just described me to a T. In fact, I've had people say that they've read sometimes my Saturday email and cried. Not everybody, of course, but they've sent in a note and said that, or people have gone to my website and said, I don't understand how you know me so well. Do you have like a microchip listening to my every thought? Because everything you said was exactly me, Fabienne. That's the kind of marketing where somebody says like, whoa, that's me, I need you. Not everybody says I need you, but once you've got their attention, it's a different kind of thing. The self-selection piece is when your marketing is crystal clear, they raise their hand and they say, I'm your person, right? And so the first step of closing the sale is actually to work on your marketing and to get it to have such resonance and such alignment with your ideal client that you've got their full attention. Now, most people market and they don't have anybody's full attention. Like there's so much noise that, yeah. So step number 1, self-selection, getting them to raise their hand and say, I'm your person. I'm listening. Step number 2 is pre-qualification. So let's say they've raised their hand and they've reached out to you and said that they want to work with you. What most people do is they get on the phone or they set up a meeting in person, and then they try to do the sales conversation. I think this is the wrong way, because there's, as I mentioned in the 18 reasons why you're not closing the sale, you are going to be set up to prove yourself, set up to sell. The person will have lots of questions, lots of resistance, lots of objections. And so you are going to, the energy is going to shift. The energy is going to be that you have to sell and to prove yourself and to convince them to work with you if you do not do some pre-qualification. So step number 2 is pre-qualification. And the way that it works is that you have them go through hoops. Usually you're going to go through hoops on the call to convince them, but now it's their job to go through hoops to prepare themselves for the call. Right? So in my authentic close process, we have a series of questions. They're all mapped out. They work for all sorts of industries. And those questions are sent to a prospective client with whom we have scheduled a GAC. So a GAC stands for Get Acquainted Call. That's the tribal language that we have here at Bold Heart Business. The Get Acquainted Call, instead of a sales conversation or a free consultation, we say, hey, let's get acquainted. Let's set up a call. GAC is short for Get Acquainted Call. So before the GAC, they have to answer the questions, and then they send them to you. And part of those questions is that they start thinking, it's like the way that the questions are set up, they start to kind of sell themselves into working with you. Not completely, right? But if you have a set of questions that you can send them to have them pre-qualify themselves, you win. And they win too. The other part of the pre-qualification process is to have other people sell the client for you. So other people are, and it's not live, but other people are telling them how valuable your work is, what they got from working with you, etc. So even before your prospect, your lovely prospect, is going to get on the phone with you or come to meet you, they have heard from all of these current and past clients of yours how fantastic you are and how worthwhile it is to work with you. So now they've gone through these questions. They have heard how great you are. What it does is it pushes them closer and closer to selling themselves. They're not even on the phone with you yet. They're closer and closer to selling themselves, and you're further and further away from having to do any selling on the call. Do you see how cool this is, right? Can you just give me some love here? If this is good, just say like, this is good, or this is cool, right? So I know like you're engaged, right? So that's step number 2. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Rhonda. I presume that's not Ro. I presume that's Rhonda. Thank you, Heidi and Genevieve and Annette. Appreciate that. Step number 3 is role reversal. So like I mentioned, usually when you get on the closing of the sale call or the get acquainted call, the GAC, you are being interviewed by the prospect. Why should I work with you? Am I going to get results? Blah, 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 right? What I realized is that when I was interviewed during the get acquainted call by my clients in that way, the energy was like they were here and I was a low being. And I felt like they were looking down at me, and I was like, I don't know, I just didn't like the energy of having to like prove myself all the time. And so what I decided, and I think you should decide too, and this is part of this boldly closing the sale process, is that you turn the tables and you tell them that there's a whole script that I use. It's part of my process where you tell them that you don't work with everybody that wants to work with you. And so you are actually, just as much as they're interviewing you, you're checking them out too. And you don't let everybody work with you. And so they're going to have to prove themselves. Do you see that when, first of all, a prospect has never heard that. I hope it's okay to say, but I was in that marketing intensive full day that I was teaching yesterday, and one of my clients from France said, oh my God, you're such a badass. And I thought that was the greatest compliment. And this role reversal thing is a badass thing to do in a good way, because what it does is people are a little bit like, oh, so I have to prove to you like that you should pick me. And the energy, so I believe in energy. Like I'm a very spiritual person. I'm really intuitive. And I believe that energy, when you can change the energy of a sales conversation by just a couple of phrases, it can change everything. So that's number 3, role reversal. Step number 4 is a super fancy name. It's called preemptive. Oh, I didn't put 2, pre-qualification, and 3, role reversal. Oh, that's reversal. All right, you'll change it. You'll do it. Okay. So you already did this. Thank you. Thank you. Number 4 is preemptive objection handling. Preemptive objection handling. That is a super complicated and fancy way to make sure to answer all their questions and all of their objections before they get on the call with you. As I mentioned on Thursday on the live thing, and I mentioned this, like I went into this and how important this is, you're trying to squish in 45 minutes or 60 minutes everything that they need to know before hiring you. There simply is not enough time to talk to them, describe your programs or prices, answer their questions, talk about them, you know, map out everything, handle all of their objections in like 45 minutes. That's maddening. And one of the reasons why you're not closing the sale likely as often as you'd like is you're trying to squish everything in there. So if you can find a way, and we have a whole process for this, if you can find a way to answer all their questions and all of their objections around money, or objections around the fact that they're busy, ones around the fact that they need to check with somebody, that they this, they that, who's it going to work for, all the things. If you can do that ahead of time, then the rest of the call is all about just listening to them. It's about deep listening. It's about checking each other's energy. And it's about asking questions, but you never have to sell because if you think about it, objection handling puts you back in a sales, in a proving yourself, selling energy. And you don't want to do that. And so what we're doing here together is, yeah, this is good, Rhonda. Thank you. When you do that together, let's just say that if you do that ahead of time, you just hang out with them on the call. Like, you're just like, it's like meeting a new friend. It's like meeting the friend of a friend, and you know you're going to like them, but you're just double checking that you really like them. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but the actual sales conversation never has to have any selling, okay? So, and this preemptive objection handling, step number 4, is exactly what does that. Step number 5 is called the elegant dance. The elegant dance. So here's how I look at it. Every conversation is a dance, right? One person talking, the other person like responding, and it's an exchange of energy. The closing of the sale conversation, the GAC, is also a dance. And much like, tango, there's a person that leads and there's a person that follows, but it has to be seamless. It has to be elegant. And most people just have no clue about what to do on the call. Let's just say you're going to do a call. They don't know how long it should last. They don't know what questions to ask, much like an interview. In all of my programs where I tell people you got to hire some team members, they're like, what do I say in the interview? Do you have questions that I can ask them? And my clients have, when they're about to do a get acquainted call, they say, do you have questions that I can ask them? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be pushy? Am I supposed to be aggressive? Am I supposed to be soft? Am I supposed to close? And I'd say there is a script, just like there are dance moves, right? There are moves to tango. Now, if you were like, let's say right now, somebody showed up in your room and said, let's dance tango. If you don't know the steps, you're not going to do well. You're going to look like a fool, or you're going to trip, all right? And it's the same thing around the elegant dance. You need a script, but one that's loose and elegant, something where you can shift on a dime. It's both what to do, but it gives you freedom to put your own inflections and your own personality on it. So part of my process it's a one-page script. I go like this because the page is like this. It's a one-page script. It's bullet points. And it's like, here are the questions you ask. This is where you pause. This is where you say this. This is where you say that. Da 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 da. And throughout, it's like the whole thing is on one sheet of paper. And it's where you are leading, but the person doesn't feel restricted. And they feel that you are honoring them, because not at any point in the conversation do you ever sell. All you ever do is ask questions. You ask questions, you provide, you hold space for them, you do deep listening, and you ask more questions. And because you are not selling, they do not feel sold to. And if you listen to my webinar the other day, or if you watch the replay, you'll see that the way that people buy is that they love to buy, but they hate to be sold to, right? Write that down. People love to buy, but they don't like to be sold to. And so having a process where every single question is an honoring question and every single process is a loving process, they bring down their resistance. I'll tell you this, whenever I walk into a store and I can tell that the woman is on commission and like she's staring at me with like dollar signs in her eyes, I just want to run. So, but the thing is, that doesn't mean that sales is bad, right? I do sales all the time. I love doing sales. I think sales is an honoring thing. There are some people right now who will say, please tell me, can I learn more from you? And I'd be delighted to tell you about something. And there's some people who won't want to buy from me. And don't take it personally. I have something. If I have something, I'm going to make it available to you, as you should with your clients. You do not have to feel bad. You're not a bad person if you sell. Now, there are some people who fundamentally believe that if you make any money in the world, or if you offer anything for sale, you are a bad person. They will never make any money. You must value what you offer enough to charge for it and not to feel bad offering it to people. If they say no, it doesn't change your value as a person, or it doesn't change the value of your product or service. So the dance, the elegant dance, is all about following a few simple steps that feel beautiful, much like a dance does, where the person feels good who's leading, and the person who's being led feels good too. Okay. Step number 6 is emotion selling. It's not emotional selling, it's emotion selling. And here's how it works. Most people try to sell logically. Most people try to sell logically. The thing is, well, here's what I've learned from doing thousands of closing of the sale conversations in the close to 20 years I've been in business. What I've learned is that, and I mostly speak to women, but I've spoken to men too. People buy emotionally first. They buy from their heart first. And then they, how do you say, what's that word? And then they justify it mentally and logically. Okay. But most people start selling, they're talking about features, this is what you get. People don't care. They don't actually care about your product. They don't care about your program until they feel heard, until they feel seen, until they feel loved, until they feel trust for you, until they feel safe that you have the solution and the feeling that they want. Right? And so I have a process, and it's part of the script, right? I have a process that takes people from selling from their head into their heart. And I have to tell you, it is so beautiful here. I was in advertising and marketing and sales. In fact, before I quit my job and started my own business, my last corporate job was in sales. I sold advertising space for Food and Wine magazine. Fantastic magazine, but I have to tell you, I hated sales. I hated it. And what I realized is now, hindsight is 2020, I hated that I was always here. And what a friend of mine told me a few weeks ago, that he said, this is why you're different from everybody else in your space, Fabienne, everybody else who teaches marketing or who's a business coach, everything, because your heart chakra is open and you always lead with your heart. Like it's like your heart is talking, right? I live right here. If I talk about it too much, I'm going to get emotional. So I have to be careful not to, because I don't want to cry here. But I don't know how to explain it to you. When you do sales from right here, from your heart, it is this most beautiful thing. And when you allow the person who's sitting in front of you or who's talking to you on the phone, if you allow them to come into their heart, a place where most people never ever go, the resistance goes down. It's just like everything becomes lovelier. And when it becomes lovely, they can make a decision trusting their gut, their intuition. They connect with their higher self about working with you. And if the answer is no, it's no. But the majority of the time, they wouldn't have self-selected. They wouldn't have gone through all of the pre-qualification process. They wouldn't have, gotten to this moment in time if their intuition hadn't said, this person, I should work with them. So when you're in your heart space and they're in their heart space, there is this beautiful, it's almost like a spiritual connection. I know that sounds woo-woo, but I believe you can be spiritual in business. I am, and I teach my people, my Bold Heart business members, how to do that. And I believe that you can do sales with love. And this is the piece about being in your heart. So the magical thing that happens when you're in your heart and they're in your heart, sales with love, it is that they buy. And it's a lovely experience. And they're choosing to buy, right? It's just a couple things that I say in my script, which is this elegant script. It's just like 2 or 3 things that you say that immediately takes the person from their head right into their heart. And then it's this softness, it's this, and we do it with men too. Like it's not just women, but I 95% of my clients and customers are women. So that's that about the emotion selling. But I have to tell you one thing that happens is that when you go from your head to your heart, and when they go from their head to their heart, something that you might not expect happens. And I don't know whether I should tell you this or not, because I might actually scare you with this. Sometimes it's not unusual for the prospect to well up in tears. When they decide, I'm welling up in tears now. When they decide that you're the one and that they want to work with you, and that everything that you've talked about is this magical future for them, and they know that you can take them there, there's a certain emotion that comes up for them. And I don't know, over the last 18 years, I can't tell you the number of times that I've gotten emotional with them. This actually happened just a couple months ago. And I'm on the phone with somebody and my eyes well up in tears after their eyes well up in tears. And it's this beautiful heart-to-heart connection. It is magical. It's kind of spiritual. It doesn't happen every time, okay? Not everybody gets to the crying piece. And this is not, like, I do not want you to go and say, oh, Fabienne, all she teaches people to do is cry and then they buy from her. Like, please don't do that. That's not at all what I'm saying. When you can have this really honest, honoring, loving, service-based, sales is service-based conversation with somebody, and you are honoring the essence of who they are as a person, people are rarely seen that way at home. Some people aren't even loved at home. So if you can love them, hear them, understand them, honor them, they feel more loved with you than they do with some of their closest family members and friends. So it's really lovely. Step number 7 is it's called choice of offers. Step number 7, choice of offers. What I realized is in the beginning, I offered one program or one way to buy my services. And what I realized is that it's very constraining for people. It makes them feel controlled. And especially women, I don't know why. We like to have choices. If I only have one choice, the answer is yes or no. If I have a choice of yeses, then it feels more freeing. And then for you as a business owner, there are more chances for people to say yes. So it's not this, take this or leave it, it's this or that. And when you build that into your authentic sales process, the person is more available. They will say yes more often. But the thing is, most people don't know how to craft offers that feel good. So in the Boldly Close the Sale program that you probably saw the email that I launched on Thursday, part of it is that we help you craft your offers so that they both kind of become irresistible. So it's more like, instead of like yes or no, it's like, ooh, should I take this one or this one? And remember, people love to buy, but they don't like to be sold. So it's like you're giving them a choice of what to buy. Do you want to buy this or do you want to buy this? And it becomes this fun thing. It's kind of like going to a store with a girlfriend. Should I buy the green dress or should I buy the pink dress, right? And it's, again, it's this honoring thing, right? Okay, step number 8. We're getting to the end, right? Step number 8 is called the hypothetical close. The hypothetical close. So what's that about? Well, when I think about how I've been sold to in the past, I don't know if it's just an overly masculine thing, but it was like, so are you like, so you doing it? Like, and then there's just like pressure. And I feel all my walls go up, my distrust goes back up, my resistance goes up. And I have seen, because I've done the closing of the sale conversation so many times, I've seen that when you ask, especially a woman, something in a super direct way, her walls go up. And so what I've created is this honoring process for a woman to make a decision, or a prospective client to make a decision without making a commitment. And that's the hypothetical close. Is part of the script. It's these 2 defining questions at the very end that allows somebody to make a decision without the commitment. And it's just, they really appreciate it. And because if you've ever seen a client just leave, like slip through your fingers, and they tell you an answer, but you feel like, for why they're doing it, but you feel like it's not really honest, it's kind of BS. It's because their resistance went up and they couldn't tell you the truth. But when you ask hypothetical questions, they actually tell you the truth. It's like I call it the truth serum. It's like they tell you what they want to do with you. And it's the truth because you can tell. So this is a massively important part. Step number 9, this is the final step of my elegant, authentic sales closing process. It's called sealing the deal. And the sealing the deal it's an important part of the script. And it is about you explaining how it works when somebody, works with you. And you just explain all of the details. And there's a certain way that you say it that, because they've mostly, through this point, they've practically sold themselves. I rarely see somebody not sell themselves into working with you when they follow this exact, not just the script, but everything that I've told you. You send the exact email that I give you. You ask the exact questions. You do the pre-qualification exactly the way I tell you. Some people, because I like to say you can close the sale up to 90% of the time. And so many of my clients over the past have said, ha ha ha, you're wrong. I close the sale 100% of the time, Fabienne. And I'm like, okay. But when you do all of these 9 steps, exactly the way, it's a formula. It's actually, my clients call it, it's a recipe. It's like, just follow the recipe. Don't try to substitute anchovy paste for cream cheese. It's not going to taste as good. Just do what Fabienne tells you. And when you do, the person sells themselves into working with you. They actually will give you payment on the spot. So the way that you do the sealing of the deal is when every element has been put in place, they will close themselves in one call, most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time, it's what I call the one call close. It's the one call close, but with the magical part of it is that they give you a deposit or payment in full on the same call. So if you were with me on Thursday, or you'll see this in the replay, and you should watch the replay today. I know it's Saturday. You probably have some lovely things to do, but watch it because maybe you don't have like lots of distractions, lots of clients today. Go watch it. You'll see that. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying. It'll come back. What was I saying? Somebody typed me what I was saying. I'm wanting some magic now. Yeah, the payment in full. Thank you. One of the reasons why you are not closing the sale is that you're not getting financial, you're not getting a commitment and then a financial commitment on the first call. So what happens is the law of diminishing intent, diminishing intent sets in. And what that is when somebody says, I intend to work with you, and then the longer the time between their intention and the actual doing of it, the longer the time, the more the likelihood that they won't. Because what happens is they backpedal and decide not to do it. So when you have the right elegant processes and scripts and questions to get them to close themselves, they close themselves on one call and they give you financial commitment on that one call, done. They don't backpedal. You get them started right away. It's called striking the iron while it's hot. They're excited. You're excited. It's done. You don't have to a week later think, I'm just following up too. And what do you think about working together? And what do you think about the proposal? And they're done. They're off. They're off in another land, and you will probably never hear from them again. So sealing the deal is important to do on the actual call. We're going for the one call close with financial commitment. And when that happens, when you put all of these 9 steps fully into place, magic happens. Magic happens. Instead of closing 2 out of 10 conversations, literally you're closing 5 out of 6 conversations, 3 out of 5 conversations, 9 out of 10 conversations. You can go and read, well, you can watch the replay, and I talk a lot about, I share a lot of success stories with you, like real people who say like, I just closed $60,000 of inquiries, or I just, in 1 week, I closed 5 out of 6 sales or 3 out of 5 sales. These are real people. You can go read some of these at boldlyclosethesaleprogram.com, boldlyclosethesaleprogram.com. That's the info page for the new program that I launched on Thursday. And you will see that it's magical. Instead of closing 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, you almost double or triple the number of people that you close. So think about that. You're closing more people means you have more clients. When you have more clients, let's not talk about the money for a second. When you have more clients, you're getting your work out there in the world in a much bigger way. You are creating an impact in the world You are taking your life's purpose, you are taking your gifts out there in a way that you wouldn't have if you didn't know how to close the sale. Closing the sale with authenticity, integrity, and love so that it works is probably, that and marketing, right? Probably the most crucial thing that you're not committed to yet to working to in your business. It is, I'm just going to say this, it is the ultimate in self-sabotage if you continue winging it in the closing of the sale department of your business and of your life. You're doing a disservice to all the people who should be working with you. You're doing a disservice to yourself because you're not making enough money in your business. And if you're not making enough money in your business, you are not going to stay in it much longer. And it's going to continue to stay an expensive hobby. You deserve to be making good money. There is nothing wrong with making very good money by having lots of very good clients. Lots. There are plenty of people out there who make very good money and they are jerks. But that's not who you want to be. You want to be with authenticity, integrity, and love. You want to be feminine. You want to be doing good stuff in the world. So the number one thing for you to work on is to get good at closing the sale. It's been on the back burner up until now. It's been the thing that you avoid like the plague. It's been the thing that you've been winging. I'm being really straight with you. Like I am just talking level 3 with you, right? Not level 1, like la la la, like eye to eye. This is the thing you must work on. So if you started thinking to yourself, well, maybe something's wrong with me, that I'm not making the money that I should in my business, there's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't learned how to close the sale authentically yet. And now is the time. I don't believe that you can ever really, it's like somebody who doesn't learn how to close the sale is at the airport and it's like the plane is trying to take off, but it can't because it doesn't have enough fuel, right? So that's me making the case for you to get really good at it. And those are my 9 steps. And if you would like my help, I would be delighted to teach you all of it. I have developed a way to boldly close the sale, a program. People have been asking me for years. I teach this in my year-long programs, okay? But people have been asking, how do I get the money to work with you? Or can you just teach me this piece because you're so good at it and it feels so authentic, and I've learned from all the gurus all the techniques and I can't apply them, Fabienne, because they are so not who I am. So finally, one of my team members said, Fabienne, why don't you just create a program on how to close the sale? And I said, I would love to. It's one of my favorite things to teach. Now, sometimes people say, what's the boldly part? The thing is, when you have the process, when you have the script, when you have the way, the bold heart way to close the sales, you become so much more confident. So much more confident. When you make money and you get validation in your business, so much more confident. And that makes you take bolder action, and it multiplies your business. So if you're interested in even just a little curious about what this new program is, and we had so many people interested in it on Thursday that it crashed the website for like 20 or 30 minutes. And people I've talked to, they're like, that's awesome. I'm like, no, that's not awesome. It was down for 20 or 30 minutes. It's because I described what I want to describe now. This is my cheat sheet to tell you what's in the program, just in case you're interested. So the program is a 12-week program. It is where in 12 weeks, it took me 18 years to put this together. If you are interested in becoming masterful at closing up the sale in the authenticity, integrity, and love way, it's 9 9 modules, if you will. And within each section, there's 3 sections. There's the pre-call, which is the warm-up phase, all of that. How do you create the marketing to self-select, to have them self-select? What exactly does that look like? Where do you put that? How do you figure out how to do that so it's irresistible? There's also the pre-qualification questions. It's like, I give you the email to send. I tell you what to do if they don't show up, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a discovery block number 1. Discovery block number 2 is, what do you do on the actual call? So it's like the whole elegant dance. It's just everything. The script, I give you my closing of this sale cheat sheet. Most people laminate it because they use it so much. Most people use it word for word because it is so intuitive and beautiful and just lovely. You really don't have to change it at all. And then the third discovery block is the post call. It's the double close. It's what to do to make sure that there's a stick strategy, how to get the commitment, what do you do if they don't sign up, and how do you stay connected with them so they do. It's that whole thing. So it's pre, during, and after. So you've got, and those are videos that come to you every Monday. And they come also in audio, MP3 audio. You get the transcripts. I'm a reader, so I would prefer to actually print it out and read it, make notes in the margin. And then you also get the worksheets, the examples, the scripts, the templates. I basically give you everything so that you can model it. And the reason why I do that, and everybody who's worked with me over the years, and if you're here and if you worked with me, just tell them, I don't know, I don't want to tell you what to say, but I am somebody who overgives. I believe in extreme generosity. I believe in wowing people with so much love. And so you're going to get the examples, my exact scripts, my exact emails. Just model them for yourself. Just it's like plug and play. You don't have to do a lot of work in this program. You just kind of borrow a lot of my stuff. And it works. And so why wouldn't you, right? I want you to go out there and get more clients immediately. Most people pay for this program with just 1 new client. And that 1 new client usually comes within the first 2 to 3 weeks, right? Because you're just borrowing stuff. Okay. So you get all of those videos and all of that. And then you also work with me, right? And you have Q&A calls, 3 live video Q&A calls, like here on Zoom. It's with me, but I also brought in my partner, Kiva. Kiva teaches the growth track with me at Bold Heart Business. And it's been now more than 3 years that she and I have been working together. And she lives to show you how to do marketing, to show you how to get people from online into a sales conversation privately, like have them PM you. She has this elegant way to do that. And she lives to show you how to close the sale from a beautiful perspective. So she's going to be doing some of the teaching with me because she's brilliant. She's going to be doing some of the Q&As as well. So there's the Q&As. So you can ask me questions. It's awesome. There's also, this is like awesome. I pulled Caitlin from my team. I have an enrollment team because we get lots of inquiries for Bold Heart Business and people want to join us for the year-long programs. And Caitlin has been on my team for several years now. Caitlin has personally closed millions of dollars per year of products and services over the phone. She is a force of nature, and she doesn't just work for Bold Heart now. Deepak Chopra is now has Caitlin on his team running his enrollment as well. She's that good. And she's going to do a sales role play lab with you. She's going to show you what to do on using my script and some of her best practices. And you're going to do a role play with her and as a team. And so you get to practice before you actually practice on a live human. You're going to practice with Caitlin. So that's one of the things that you get. And another thing that you get in this program, and then right after I'll tell you the investment, because I'm not withholding you. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to tell you some bonuses that you get as well. One of the other things that you get are these live implementation sessions. They're on Zoom again, And what we do is for a period of like, I think it's 3 hours. I think it's 3 or 4 hours. Forgive me. It's a chunk of time. It's like a half day. All of the members of the program are going to get on a Zoom. And it's the funniest thing. But it's so cool. It's like you're all going to implement and work on your stuff together. And then you could be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this anymore. And you look up and you see everybody else implementing. You're like, they're here. I'm going to keep going. And we do this with our current members. It is so great. And you can ask questions every once in a while, stuff like that. So there's the live implementation sessions. You get 2 of those. Okay. The investment in the program, I'll tell you the investment and then I'll tell you what the bonuses are. There's a bonus that's worth thousands of dollars that I'll tell you in just a moment. So there are 2, if you're interested in joining us in the Boldly Close the Sale program, there's 2 flavors in which to invest. There's the first one, which is the installments. You can choose the installments. It's a 12-week program, but what I've done, because I know that sometimes it's nice to have what I call like a stretchy installment plan, is instead of you have to pay it before you start or within the 12 weeks, you have 6 months to pay for the program. And it is $187 a month. $187 if you choose the installments option. If you choose, this is flavor number 2, if you choose the pay in full, you save, it's the best deal, you save some money, and it's $9.97 for the entire program, for learning how to close the sale for the rest of your life, for turning your business into a universal ATM machine, for self-reliance, for never being beholden to anyone or anything. $9.97. Super, super cool. And I want to tell you that we can actually knock off some more off of that. So I made the offer on Thursday, and I said to the folks who came live, I said, if you decide to join this program within 1 week, so by this coming Thursday, June 14th, I believe, you can have another $100 off. So if you choose the pay in full today, or up until this Thursday, the 14th, you can have the entire program for $897. And the installments are $167 times 6. So you don't have to worry. You just start this program with $167. You will likely get a new client. You'll pay for the whole program. There's that. You also get, this is something I announced on Thursday. There is a pay in full bonus just for fun. If you decide to pay in full, it's like you don't know whether I should do pay in full or installments. If you pay in full, you get a Caitlin Unplugged session. Now remember, she's the one who has sold millions of dollars on the phone each year. Of products and services. She's giddy excited to do a Caitlin Unplugged session with you, where she will answer your questions, give you her best practices for just selling with love. I don't know if Kiva, Caitlin, and I are all feminine. We're all spiritual. We're all moms of multiple children. We do this with authenticity. She wants to show you how to do that. So that's your pay in full bonus. And of course, there's a money back guarantee in all of this, like, of course, without question. So I just want to go back. There are 3 more things that you get. 2 of them are worth collectively thousands of dollars. I want to give you, I'm stacking the cool. I'm just making it like, I'm just adding more and more stuff just to basically as an ethical bribe for you to join us. I want you to join us. I want you to learn how to masterfully close the sale. So I'm just going to give you a lot of really great stuff. The bonus I'm most excited about for you is that I'm going to gift you a ticket to my transformational 3-day event called the Mindset Retreat. I have been doing the Mindset Retreat for 10 years now. This is the event that I'm known for around the world. I have taken thousands and thousands and thousands of people through a deep personal transformation about how big they play. And the Mindset Retreat is where we shift your money consciousness, we have you dream a bigger dream about what's possible. We have you remove all the fears, blocks, and self-sabotage and the rules and the judgments and all the gunk and sludge inside so that you boldly take action in life with faith. The Mindset Retreat is where I turn people into six-figure business owners, multiple six-figure business owners, and seven-figure million-dollar business owners. There's a reason I haven't stopped using it, doing it, and there's a reason where people come back year after year after year. There are people coming this year who've been at least 3 or 4 times before, because at each new level they come back, and those are the people who make $1 million with me in their business. So you're getting a free ticket to the Mindset Retreat. It's happening November 14 to 16 this year in Atlanta, Georgia, in the USA. And other people there are going to have spent thousands of dollars to be there, but you get it for free as part of this program. You can go to boldlyclosethesaleprogram.com, boldlyclosethesaleprogram.com, to see all of these things in writing. There's that. Now, a question, you're also going to, the second bonus gift of the super cool variety that I'm giving you is that some people say, what if I don't have calls on my calendar? I don't know what to do. I mean, you'll teach me how to close the sale, but what if I don't have any calls to close? I'm going to gift you with this program, the fastest path to cash. It is something that I've been teaching for years, but it is not something that I sell. It is part of my other programs. And the fastest path to cash, whereby there are hundreds of different things that you could be doing to market yourself, there are only 4 that you really need to be doing, because those are the 4 that work. And it's the fastest path to cash. So if you want to see calls on your calendar, this is what you do. And I will gift you the fastest path to cash, the video program. You're going to love it. And then, of course, there's the members only Facebook group where you can meet your tribe of other boldies just for this program, and get to know each other and collaborate. And then you'll see each other at the Mindset Retreat. Now, one of the things that Derek told me, he says that since Thursday, people have written in, he told me, he said that the team has been saying, from all the people that wrote in, saying that a lot of questions are coming in. If you're going to teach me sales, how do I actually get prospects to talk to? And I said, well, there's the fastest path to cash. We're giving them that. And he said, I think that we should give them something else, just to say, I'm sorry for the technology issues the other day. So if you're watching this, whether it's today or you end up watching it on Facebook or another day, I'm going to give you another gift worth close to $500. This is big. I want to give you something that's going to fill up your calendar with prospective client calls, with get acquainted calls. So if you're watching this, whether it's today or tomorrow, and you enroll in the Boldly Close the Sale program, you can send an email to my team at info@boldheart.com, info@boldheart.com, and you tell them that you were on the Zoom or you watched the Zoom, and you tell them that you enrolled and that Fabienne said that I could get the Client Attraction System program for free. So if you buy and you send an email to my team saying at info@boldheart.com, and you say, Fabienne said that I could get the Client Attraction System for free because I enrolled into Boldly Close the Sale program, I will gift you that. And it's the one product that I sold for years and years and years and years. It is my best-selling product of all time, but we pulled it off the market a month ago. It is not for sale anymore. We've just decided to pull it off. We're putting our focus on other things like this, and it will teach you everything. All of this, it's the thing that made me famous in my little tiny niche. It's everything that you need to do to get clients. It's all the marketing that you need so that you fill up your agenda, your calendar with prospective client calls. My gift to you, to say I'm so sorry for the technology issues, and to say thank you for showing up here for the Zoom. So I think I have said everything I need to say. I gave you my 9 steps. I described the program. I threw some more gifts at you just to say thank you for being in my life. I want you to succeed. I want you to have self-reliance. I believe in you. I believe that you're here to play a bigger game. And I am your champion. And I want to support you in all of the ways that are possible. And if I can help you, you'll let me know. It would be my most greatest pleasure. Sending you so much love. Have a wonderful Saturday. Love you. Bye.